month is about, so there's kind of more than one heaven. There's a heaven inside of us, there's the heaven in our lives, and then there's heaven in the spirit. And it's sometimes it's really easy for me to be in that place, and other times it's not. So we become aware of the heaven within us mostly just by being present and taking a moment to breathe and feel what's going on and accepting what is here. There's part of it of know that we are inherently good within us, that there is something, we are created in God's image in that way. Even Jesus said, this you shall do and even greater. So, and then, in unity, we talk about the Christ within. So these are all, there's working the inner part, there's working out in the world of, like she was saying in the song, of loving people, and there's being of service. And I'm sure I've mentioned it, just thinking of my daughter just gets me in that place of how much I love her. And then we have tools that align us to both the heaven within and without. And so the basic tools are meditation, journal writing. Those are probably the two main ones. We're going to do a chakra balancing meditation as the meditation today. So there are meditations for specific things like that. And then there's, for me, there's more, my daily meditation is more about connecting with God and inviting that energy within. And that's really what it does. And it's easy to say, and I always say this, when I'm doing this, I'm very connected. When I'm working, I'm very connected. In my life, it takes work. And so I practice every day. Okay. And there are four legs of the heaven on earth table, we could say. And the first one is awareness. And a lot of that is just using our intention and attention to be focused on the goodness within, the goodness in other people. Part of that is taking care of yourself. So there is good in everyone, but not everyone is expressing that all the time. That is for sure. Okay. The second one, and my understanding is it's the first law of spirit, is acceptance. And acceptance is not, taking in things that are not good for you. It's more like accepting where things are, where you're at. And I have so many phenomenal experiences. I'm trying to think of what something happened this week. I forgot to write it down though, but I was, anyway, something wasn't going my way, and I was really putting a lot of energy into creating something different, and I realized I wasn't accepting. And I know a lot of it for me is thinking I have to be someone different. I have to be different than I am. I have to be better than I am. I have to act different. I have to think different. I have to feel different. But then it's like, well, no, this is who I am, and there's something inherently good in me. And I'm going to connect with that and trust that what I'm going through in the world is part of my lessons, part of what my soul is choosing, part of what God is choosing for me. Third leg of the table is practice, 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 and be the spiritual warrior. So it is, we talk about positive thinking a lot in unity, but it is very important to meditate and journal write. Those are my two go-to things, and I'm grateful I'm in the habit of journal writing. I like to remind everyone, you don't have to do these things perfectly. And there are days when I meditate that my mind will not be quiet. And I have to keep wanting to look at my phone. And, even today I meditated, and I'm glad I only opened my eyes a few minutes before my alarm went out, but I didn't wait till my alarm. And it was almost luck that I made it. The fourth leg of heaven on earth table is that spirit is all around us. There are angels, there are masters, there's loving energy all around us all the time here to help us. And so, I'm grateful that a lot of times I can see those things. I have a friend who a lot of times says, what's around us right now? And when I first look, there's always thousands of angels. And then I know that this person's asking about something a little different because there are all sorts of specific beings. But anyone can just breathe and let that in. And again, you don't have to do it perfectly. You don't have to know how to do it. You just do it. So this chakra balancing meditation involves two things. First, chakras. And there are a number of different ideas of what chakras are, but most people know what I call the 7 major chakras, and that's what we're going to work with. In acupuncture, anywhere where energy meridians cross is considered a chakra because it's an energy center. So there are thousands of very minor, there's minor ones. And when I was in school, we basically used a system with 9 chakras in it. So we didn't use the solar plexus, but we used the liver and spleen. And I don't even remember what there was another one added on there, but we're going to do the 7 major ones. The other part, it is using green light. So I'm going to tell a story. It's kind of a fun story of something that happened to me. So sometimes when I work with people, the color light comes in, and a lot of times I see it around me, and a lot of times people see it. So, and that has happened whether I'm working remotely or with the person in person. So this particular story was in person, and it was, I'm trying to think of how many years ago. It was some years ago, and this young man who was in his early 20s was coming to see me, and he had some serious liver problems. And from some of his sessions with me, he was getting better, but his father was paying for his sessions with me. And, you know, what I do is at best alternative, you know, so, and so the father wanted to come see me, and I knew the father because I worked in a tennis clinic for years with the son. He was one of the coaches, and but the father wanted to come see me, and he was an engineer, and he came, and it was interesting because it was in an office building, and the parking lot was kind of small, but there were always enough parking spaces for the amount of people that were there. And he called me from the parking lot, and someone had parked like taking up, like 2 people had parked taking up like 2 spaces. And so there wasn't room for him. And it ended up kind of being, so I just went and moved my car and he could fit in. It was almost like a foreshadowing of something opening up. And so he came in, he sat down. There were 3 chairs there because his son was there. He was there and I was there. And I explained to him that I call the light in the beginning and I say a prayer. I keep it pretty generic because I work with people from all different religious and spiritual beliefs. And when I did, the room filled up with green light, and which isn't a big deal to me because it happens a lot, but this guy saw it and he said, what happened? The room, everything just got green. And I tried to explain to him that the healing energy comes in. Usually it's purple, but green is a little more for physical healing. And I said, this is great because we're looking for spiritual healing for your son. And he explained to me his concerns about his son. So his son was very, very sick. And, but he's still alive today. This was, you know, probably 15 years ago. So, but the guy he explained his story a little bit, and then for like 15 minutes he was looking around the room trying to figure out how come everything turned green. And there was a double glass door there, and the light was shining through the trees, although it was autumn, so trees were colorful. But then after a while he just said, I don't know what you do, but I feel so good. And he left and he let his son continue working with me. And it was, I don't know, it was hard for me not to laugh. I was smiling, and I smile a lot when I'm working because these phenomenal things happen. But it was such a great story that the color part. So we're going to be, for this meditation, you want to start with green light. And it's usually we describe it as emerald green light. But sometimes when you're doing it, the colors might change for you, and that's fine too. Okay. So green is for physical healing. One thing that people tend to bring up when I do this is the colors people associate with the different chakras. And I suggest being very, let's say, gentle with that, because a lot of times those colors have overstimulated the chakras, particularly in the base chakra with the red color, because it's very strong. And it's our creative center, but it's also our sexual center. And we want to keep that balanced. Okay? So purple is for spiritual transformation. Blue is usually for calming the mind. Yellow can be used for that, but for me, that happens a lot. It's like the soul energies coming through. But trust your intuition with the colors. I'm going to keep talking about green. If something changes for me, I'm going to mention that, but go with what goes on for you. You can close your eyes and take a big breath. Just feel yourself sitting in the chair. And just kind of scan through your body and see if there's any place that feels tight. And you can just move it around a little bit to relax. And then, Father, Mother God, we ask for the clearing. We ask for God's love and God's light, for healing and balancing and clearing in line with the highest good. So we are going to start in the base chakra, which we access through the pubic bone. So just on the inhale, imagine emerald green light coming into your pubic bone. And you could see it expanding inside of you, and then on the exhale going out. Sometimes it happens on the exhale, you'll see a little bit darker energy going out because that's stuff clearing. But also, a lot of times people don't really visualize. So sometimes I do see colors when I'm doing this. Sometimes I'm just saying the color to myself, to tell you the truth, over and over again to get it. So you could feel it, you could see it, you could just know it, or just repeat the word. I do go green, green, green. Okay, so again, breathe in, the green light comes into the pubic bone. On the exhale, the green light goes out. Now we'll go to the navel chakra where the belly button is, and the green light comes in, and the green light goes out. So this would include your large intestine, most of your digestive system. Green light coming in on the inhale, and green light going out on the exhale. Green light in, green light out. And next we'll go to the solar plexus, which is where the ribs come together in the front. Just on the inhale, see green light coming in and green light going out. So for that one, I saw a little pink light coming in with the green, and then the green light going out. So pink is for the loving energy. Green light coming in and green light going out. So I start to feel some tingling in my hands and feet, and that's normal. If it doesn't happen, it's fine too. Again, you don't have to do these things perfectly, just go with it. Sometimes you might try to tune into a specific place in your body and it just doesn't seem to connect. That's fine too. Okay, so green light coming in to the center of your ribs in the front, and green light going out. And sometimes you can make the sound on the exhale if you feel like that'll help. Then we'll go up to the heart center in the center of the chest. The green light coming in through your lungs, through your physical heart, and green light going out on the exhale. So for me, the exhale energy color looked a little darker, so I'm assuming it's some darkness clearing out, perhaps in my heart center. And green light going out on the exhale. Green light coming in. And green light going out. Now we'll go to the throat chakra. And Green light coming in. The throat chakra's at the base of the throat. Just see the green light coming in. This would have to do, this is our higher creative center, our center of communication. Green light coming in, and green light going out. Green light coming in, and green light coming out. So I'm feeling more tingling through the rest of my body, my arms, through my calves. Now we'll go to the third eye, which is in the center of the forehead. Green light coming in, and green light going out. Green light on the inhale, and green light on the exhale going out. Now we'll go to the crown chakra on the top of the head. So the crown chakra usually doesn't get out of balance, but we can help it align with our other chakras, and we do receive a lot of spiritual information through our crown chakra. So besides the green light coming in from up above, it's kind of like the information can come into our body, into our mind. So the green light comes in on the inhale, goes all through your brain, through your eyes, your nose, your mouth, and green light goes out on the exhale, returning to God. Green light comes in, and green light goes out. Green light comes in through the top of your head, and green light goes out. Now we're just going to go back down to kind of ground us, and we'll just do one breath in each chakra. So next we'll go into the third eye, into the center of the forehead. The inhale, green light comes in. And the exhale, green light goes out. Then to the throat chakra, green light comes in, and green light goes out. Into the heart chakra in the center of the chest, green light comes in, and green light goes out. To the solar plexus where the ribs come together in the front, green light comes in, and green light goes out. Then into the navel chakra, into the belly button, green light comes in, and green light goes out. To the base chakra through the pubic bone, green light comes in, and green light goes out. Now just feel your breath a little bit. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your hands. You can wiggle your hands and toes around a little bit if you'd like. And feel yourself sitting in a chair. Just kind of scan through your body, see if there's any areas of tension. If you have any imbalances or illness in your body, you can focus on that and specifically into that area. Breathe the green light in and breathe the green light out. Green light in. Green light out. And come a little more present in your body, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So this is a simple, easy meditation to do that you can do on your own. If you're going to start doing it, it is good to just do a few breaths at each chakra first until you get a little used to it. And after a while, then you could spend as much time as you want on each chakra. I mean, I've been doing this meditation for years, and I still basically do it like I just did, a few breaths in each chakra. And then, try to find any specific place in my body that needs a little healing at the end. Be flexible with the colors, but how you feel is really important. Gold I use for, it's a very strong, sometimes it's connected to the sun, the physical sun, and to the masculine energy. Okay? And silver is more connected to the moon energy and the female energy. But it playing with the colors can be really a lot of fun. So if you check it out, and it's sometimes you can imagine a piece of clothing that color, that that's something I do to help me tune in. And I probably mentioned I'm a little colorblind, so sometimes I'm seeing a color I'm not exactly sure what it is, because certain shades of blue and purple I can't tell apart. So, and there is some red green color blindness for me, but it's a fun thing. And something I learned to do is imagine like having a bucket of water with a big sponge in it. And I think of it like something that I would wash my car with, that I don't do. When I was younger, I would do. And just imagine all the bubbles, the different colors of the rainbow. And imagine washing my energy field in my body with this big fluffy sponge, and all the colors are in it. Or sometimes just imagine a rainbow. You're in a rainbow scene. But and see how you feel. See what colors work for you. So, and just you can close your eyes again and breathe into the center of your heart, into your chest, and just allow God's love and light to come in, and allow that love and light to fill your body. And sometimes we can imagine heaven as a beautiful place that we know of, or the pearly gates that I imagine being all white and stuff like that. Or just, you could, like for me, sometimes imagining being with my daughter would be a place of heaven. So just allow those images of heaven for you to come present, whether it's something you see or feel or know. And then take 2 minutes to be in the silence. Take a big breath. Feel yourself sitting in the chair, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Yes. Okay. It's great to do all this spiritual stuff. So once again, close your eyes and take a breath and breathe into the center of your chest, into your loving spiritual heart center, and allow that energy to expand. Again, you can see it expanding, feel it expanding, or just know it's expanding. Allow that energy to fill your whole body, and then to fill the whole room that you're in. And just imagine these rooms of light connecting to each other from all over the world. We have Nevada, Virginia, New Jersey, Massachusetts, and wherever else anyone is from. Just see the light filling this whole country and surrounding the whole planet Earth. See the column of light going up into the highest realms of light and into the center of the Earth. Now, either out loud or to yourself, you can say anyone's name, your name, or any situation you feel could use some healing light. And then feel your breath once again and allow your energy field to come in a little bit. And dear Lord, we thank you for this opportunity to be of service to our planet, to our country, to our congregation, to our community, and to ourselves. Amen.
For 5 minutes.
That's okay.